And then what did we do once we got up and going kind of late Sunday morning?
Well, we're not going to just drive home. We're in Wisconsin.
We're in Wisconsin.
Even though
We're in
it's
the land
not that far.
We're in the land of beer, cheese, and serial killers.
Yep.
Stay creepy.
I count on it. I plan on it. We happen to be in a town that has a cheese place, whatever you want to call it.
A cheese factory, cattle, or
I forget. I don't know. There's a fancy name for it, but cheesemaker or whatever. But anyways, they make Gouda, Gouda cheese.
Yeah, they got the cows there, and they do the whole thing. So, and that was literally
Marieke
Gouda.
Yep.
Gouda. Which was literally like basically across the street from our hotel. Yep. I mean, it was just like we could see it from our hotel.
Thorpe, Wisconsin. They have
a very, very nice little town.
It was a pretty decent town. Yeah. They have roaming cows. So anybody who's
not live cows.
Not live cows, but anybody who's from Buffalo, Minnesota area knows of our buffaloes that we have like different buffalo statues, different kinds that are all around Buffalo. You can go and find them and take pictures with them.
Yeah, and like St. Paul for a while had the Peanuts characters. Some in Minneapolis, but mostly in St. Paul. So that idea, but they have just like cow statues.
They have roaming cows.
Yeah.
So you can go and take pictures, and there are a few pictures that I had to take with them. A few of them.
Yeah, we had a couple of them outside the hotel. One of them by the Quick Trip, which was a Quick Trip employee cow.
Yep.
And then we went over to the Gouda place, and they had more cows. They had a big cow.
Big cow.
Big cow.
A jumping
like pad,
inflatable jumping pad thing for everybody.
I think mainly to distract the children who don't really care about cows.
So they fall asleep in the car on the way home. Yeah.
Which parents, that's how you do it.
Yeah.
Wear your kids.
Them out.
They'll take a nap on the way home. You can
give them sugar, then wear them out.
Then let them crash in the car.
Yeah.
That'll be fine.
So, for all you young parents out there.
Yeah. So
sugar can be good sometimes.
Sugar in small doses.
Yeah. So we
went down there, and they had a gift shop / restaurant.
Yeah, gift shop. Duchess Cafe.
Duchess Cafe. Cafe Duchess.
Cafe Duchess.
Cafe Duchess.
Yes.
And then across the way they had their barn.
Yep.
Where they actually do the milking of the cows and because all the cheese production was in the other building. Actual. But yeah, they and some of the stats we got in that place was insane.
Yeah, the average cow there produces was like 486 more gallons of milk. Is it? I think a year.
A year than your average cow.
Than an average cow does.
An average Wisconsin cow.
Apparently, Wisconsin cows already produce more.
Well, yeah, it is very steep.
But those cows, specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they have almost 3 times as many cows as the average Wisconsin dairy farm. And
they treat them very well.
They pamper them.
Cow spa,
like hardcore.
They get their hooves trimmed a lot because they know that it's important for them to be able to walk, and if they're uncomfortable, they might not graze like they're supposed to.
Then that affects the milk production and
all sorts of things they do to make sure that they produce good milk, and they eat better than an average human does.
They eat more nutritiously than your average human.
Yes, they have all this special blend of TMR or something.
Yeah.
That they do
part corn grain, part
all sorts of stuff.
It's insane.
And and we got to see where they milk and how they cleanse before they milk, and then how they put this iodine on after, and just it's insane and
it's
how it all works.
Yeah, it it's a lot. It's a lot.
3 times a day? What is it? 3 times a day?
3 times a day.
Yep, that they get milked so much. I'm surprised because I did not realize that.
That they produce that much.
That they produce that much milk and that they have to be milked 3 times a day. I don't know why I didn't think of this, being a mother and such, that you would need to be milked 3 times a day. But yes, 3 times a day.
3 times a day.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and then outside of that, they just, what does it say? They pretty much lay down for 10 to 14 hours a day.
Like they sleep a lot too,
Yeah, they sleep. Well, I mean, it's a very relaxed, very, very kind of mellow farm. I like the vibe of that farm. That was cool.
It was a nice farm. Yep.
Yeah.
And each cow has their own name, of course, and
I mean, to the point where they've got the trackers on the ears.
and the
ear
Fitbits,
tags.
yeah.
To monitor like all their internal stuff and mood changes and stuff. They have the Fitbit to make sure they're
walking
enough, but not too much, because
Yeah.
they want to keep them healthy but not super lean. And it's a whole thing. It's pretty awesome.
And it is really interesting the way that the cheese, like how long, the different times for the different processes and such, but then also the special pine planks that are made from these certain trees, and I think even imported from.
I think that's what it said. Yeah.
And then they, I didn't think about it either, that they let them sit like so long without the wax, and then they put the wax, and then they like actually flip the wheel of cheese every couple of days to keep the fat from settling on one side.
Yeah, to keep it evenly distributed, yeah.
And then they actually flip the pine planks over, these like wide, like, where's my thing? These like wide pine planks, about like, about my shoulder width, at least wide.
Yeah, that they're storing the cheese
like,
on.
They were like couple.
Oh, they were hefty boards.
And then they flip these planks every few days, depending, or sooner and like more frequently, I should say, earlier in the process of the aging, to absorb moisture from the cheese too. Goes into the planks.
Yeah, as we've discovered, cheese making is very, very complicated.
I knew it was a process, but there was quite a bit I learned that I did not know. So that was very informative, and we only did the tour, the self-guided tours. They had during the Monday through Saturday, you can get a guided tour. A guided tour where
which goes more in depth, and you get to see other parts of the barn and stuff. Yeah,
and I think you might get to actually go in the cheese making section and try that. But and they have a very, I think, a wide variety of things in their gift shop to try.
Well, yeah, because it's all their cheese products, obviously, and cheese related products. It's local beers and wines.
Yep.
And then since it is Dutch in origin,
yes,
they have a lot of Dutch.
Clogs, little clog shoes.
Little clogs, but then they have a lot of, that whole shelf was like Dutch, like pantry stuff.
Yes.
All the cookies and the sauces and the noodles and all that stuff. So it's
all kinds of horseradish.
We spent a lot of time there.
Oh yes, just to look through, once through, just to see what there was, and like 20 kinds of licorice.
So much
if you want lots of licorice, lots of Dutch licorice, and Dutch licorice is salty.
Yes.
More often than not. So be careful when you buy that stuff. I'm a black licorice fiend, but Dutch black licorice is a whole different animal.
Too intense, yeah. And then of course a bunch of like handmade soaps and handmade lip balms and lotions and
all of that stuff too that you have to have. It was chocolates. There was a whole homemade chocolate case that we didn't even. We were so overwhelmed and full. Yeah,
because we looked around the gift shop, then we went and did the tour of the barn, which was very cool and very important. And then it was just about milking time, so we hung out for a little bit, and they let the cow, and it's almost like an observation deck.
Yep.
With the windows and let the cows in, and we watched the actual milking process for a little bit, which is fascinating.
They just line right up.
Yeah, they know what they're doing. They like wait their turn, and they just like unless that's part of like either the ear tag or the Fitbit thing, like that the guy working it maybe like hits a button saying, okay, now it's your turn to come in. And
I don't know,
because I thought I heard like a clicking or something like before they
maybe
they came in.
Could be,
or maybe they just know, I don't know. So we went and did that, and then we had to say hi to all the baby cows, which are outside in like little
houses,
individual little houses.
Yeah.
But you can walk down there, and some of them interact. Some of them are over people, and they're just down back in the corner. Some of them are very friendly. Mm-hmm. Like I had to stop this one from stealing one of them.
She was trying to get her little door open so she could come home with me, and she could sit in the front seat with the seatbelt, and then he can go on the roof and hang on.
Because that's how much I'm. Yeah.
What's gonna let you hang on? Maybe I'll put a bungee around your waist or something.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then we went back inside, and it's kind of like, okay, looking at the time and looking at the distance, like, yeah, we should probably grab a little something to eat. Yeah. Not like a full meal, but a little something. And they had, of course, it got distracted because they had an ice cream case.
Yep. Ice cream.
And we're like, okay.
I'll be right back.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, this ice cream is really good. So we got a double scoop of
we got a chocolate.
The raspberry cheesecake, which was better than I expected. Like that was really good. And then something they called cuddly chocolate.
Cuddly cow.
No, cuddly chocolate.
Was it cuddly chocolate? Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Oops.
Which was just like a chocolate ice cream, but that was pretty good too.
So good.
And then we also ordered the loaded grilled cheese, which is basically just a grilled ham and cheese sandwich with Gouda, which was, and then was there anything with that?
Pickles.
Pickles, and then we got the side of cheese curds.
The spotted cow beer
battered cheese curds
made,
which were
right there,
awesome,
fresh there.
Those were really good.
And then I got the nitro coffee.
Then you got nitro coffee. But this grilled cheese, oh my god, that was so good.
It was an amazing grilled cheese.
The cheese was really good. We got it with sourdough,
of course.
And yeah, and it was crispy and buttery and just
delicious.
Oh my god, so good. So then we finished that and sat for about 5 minutes just to let everything kind of settle. And then we went shopping and got all kinds of stuff. Got some cheese and some butter and some beer and some wine, meat sticks, because they had a bunch of meat products too.
Local meat,
from local butchers, local meat processing people.
Meat market.
Yeah.
And then we got maple caramel puff corn made with maple syrup that was also
locally sourced. Yeah, because they had a bunch of like jellies and maple syrups and
lots of local stuff. It's really nice to see that much other local things there besides just the cheese.
Yeah, besides their own products.
Because a lot of times places will have like their thing, and then they'll have like just a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah,
you don't usually see so much other companies' local stuff.
Yeah, usually national stuff, but it was pretty much 90%, 95% local. Like within probably a 20-mile radius.
Wisconsin
or something.
area. Yeah. Yep.
So that was really cool. And of course, we got a bunch of cheese and.
Oh yeah, we got when we get cherry cheese,
we got cherry cheese. We got that Italian.
Italian herbed baked cheese.
We got just the plain OG Gouda, which we had a sample of, which is really good. Which I think is what they used on the sandwich.
I think it is. Yes.
What else? I forget.
We got that garlic herbed fresh butter stuff.
Yeah, garlic and basil butter.
We got the Thorpe Gouda, which has got a dash of red wine in it. Yep. I would have to pull up the thing and look at the rest. I know we got a few different kinds.
Yeah. And then we got the what's the name of the brewery who makes spotted cow?
New Glarus.
I believe
it is.
A strawberry rhubarb.
Yes.
And I don't even know what variety of beer it is, but it's
Yeah.
pretty damn tasty.
It's really good.
And then a couple of bottles of wine,
A cherry wine.
a cherry wine, and then
Blackberry Moscato, I think it was.
was it something. Yeah, well, it was one of the Moscatos. I don't remember
Yeah.
which one, but
I think it was a blackberry.
could have been. Yeah, probably.
No.
It was a lighter one.
I don't remember.
Maybe
Anyway.
like the peach or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways, either way,
wine.
we got So we
Lots of
pretty
yummy
much set.
things.
Lots of
And the
yummy
rye crisp, the rye chips.
Oh, in the
Kind of like the
rye chips.
Gardetto rye ones, but they're
Yeah.
another local bakery
Mm-hmm.
that makes them. And actually, it was packaged like I would expect, just a national brand in the grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really quite surprising to be like, oh my gosh, this is
Oh,
another
this is
local.
actually made like
Yep.
next town over.
They had local balsamic vinegars. They
Yeah,
had local
yep.
spice blends. They had a lot of local stuff.
Yeah, and again, the variety was just like
It was really cool.
like outside of bread, you could.
Yeah. Well, they had bread there too, but it was all sold out.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
local bread.
so you could almost do
Yeah.
like your grocery shopping.
Yeah, they had to the left of where the rye chips were. There was
Oh, right, yeah,
there was
yeah,
bread,
yeah.
but it's all sold out.
Well, it must be damn good bread.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's what they're using in their sandwiches, then yeah, that bread was really good. So yeah, we spent probably a couple hours there.
Yeah. Oh, easy. Yeah.
And then got back in the car. But before we left the hotel, that morning we were looking at stuff, and we kept on seeing signs for the Leinenkugels Brewery and the lodge and the tour and all that. So we looked that up and scheduled a tour, a brewmaster's tour. And we're like, okay, cool. So left the cheese place and drove down to Chippewa Falls, and a little confusion when we got there, but you know, we worked it all out.
Yeah. Start at the Leinie Lodge.
Started the lodge. Do not go to the brewery.
Don't
go to
start
lodge. Check in
chucking
with
it for the brewery.
yeah. Check in at the lodge. And we were a little bit late, but so was that other couple. So
Yes.
I don't feel so bad.
Yeah.
And then went on the tour of the brewery, which was
It was fun.
fascinating. That was a lot of fun. That was a good time. Had a almost snarky little tour guide.
Oh, he had a little
was
sass
really
to him.
He had a lot. Actually, he had a
A
lot of sass to him.
Yeah.
You know, people asking dumb questions that he didn't know the answer to.
Yeah, if you asked it and he didn't know it, it was a dumb question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he'd just be like, well, Google it.
Yeah.
But that was fun. I didn't know half that stuff about Leinenkugels.
I learned quite a bit about even the brewing process and I've brewed home brew, of course, but and I've studied it a little bit, but I learned quite a bit I learned quite a bit there too. And it just it was really fascinating the amount of automation there actually is nowadays.
Yes, that surprised me a lot, especially in the packaging. Like they said, their whole packaging division, section, whatever, is pretty much fully automated. Like they maybe have one or two people working there just to kind of keep an eye on things.
All the way down to the putting it in the six pack or the 12 packs, or do you say they only do 12 packs and 24 packs? I can't remember.
They only do cases.
Cases though, not packs, were not bottles, but
Well, even in the bottles, it's
Well,
like
yeah.
you wouldn't wrap up an individual 6-pack.
No.
You would get like 3
Yeah.
or 4 of them, or however that would work
yeah.
out.
So, but the way it goes,
Yeah, and as he was saying, the technology is now so advanced that it's just like it'll sense those things.
Yeah.
It'll sense if a bottle isn't filled enough. It'll sense if a can is, you know, because once they filled the can and lit them, they fill them over to make sure there's no leaks. And if one is leaking and it gets there, it'll sense that it's not heavy enough and it'll kick it off. And I mean, it's just insane.
apparently very, very few
Are kicked
are
off.
short fills.
Yeah,
Yeah. just
very few.
Very few. So, like, it's not like old back in, like, on Strange Brew days, you know, like, I got most of my in my beer, you know. It's like, there's, like, not gonna happen.
Yeah, that
So
doesn't happen.
really is. It's so neat.
Yeah,
And then if you work there, you do get free beer.
you did get free beer.
Yep.
I don't know if he said how much or how often.
He said it depends on your pay.
It depends on your
scale
level,
or
yeah.
your level, how much you get, you know, usually. So, yeah. But yeah.
And then the other thing we found cool was the fact that they just don't produce. It's pretty much per order.
Yep. They don't brew it until it's ordered.
Until it's ordered, and from the time it's ordered till the time they ship out is 60 days. Which seems like a really kind of a quick turnaround for, especially if it's big massive order like that.
You would think nowadays, oh my gosh, 60 days is a long time.
Yeah.
But not really, because they have to finish brewing and shipping, getting, you know, what they have going done.
And then getting everything together for this new order. And then he was saying they do, you know, spend like 30 days getting all that together and clearing the lines and whatnot. And then the other 30 days actually doing the brewing. Because again, depending on the variety, it sits in this tank, in the fermentation tank for X amount of days, sits in the aging tank for X amount of days. I mean, it's a whole thing. Yeah, it's
cool. Not like you just whip it up and throw it in the oven, you know, it's
right.
It's a process. So it's really that. I did find that really interesting too, that they don't just brew to brew. They have to have the order.
Yeah, which is very cool.
And there's only one bar that has the Leinenkugels.
Yes, they're very
I didn't
proud
even
of
know
it.
there was a Leinenkugels.
They're very proud of it. They have a banner and everything. And I forgot where he said it was. I don't think I.
Somewhere in Wisconsin, I think.
Somewhere in Wisconsin.
That's what they said.
Yeah, it's like the only bar where you can get Leinie's Light.
It's crazy.
So, yeah. And then the seasonal thing, and they just have some beer seasonally, and then the fact that summer shandy, which I think we're pretty sure they pretty much like invented.
Yeah, they said that they pretty much invented it over here. It was a big German thing. And
That's right.
It was they're the national trendsetter for shandy.
The Leinie Summer Shandy is the only beer of theirs that has national distribution. The only one.
Yeah. And then
which is damn impressive. I mean, because
for a little brewery,
big as it was, and as much as they produce, and you know, around here, obviously, it's like Leinie's. Yeah, of course. They're still like a local independent brewery.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
What would they say? They were 7th or like 11th largest or something like that.
I wouldn't know. I couldn't remember.
We'd have to look at some literature, but
We'd have to look.
but yeah, I mean, as big as we think they are around here regionally, it's still like a independently owned. Even though Miller bought them in 1988,
I believe it was. Yes, I believe that.
They've had pretty much a hands-off approach, and I mean, they're basically just money at this point. And what did they say in 2001, 2002? They completely upgraded all of their machinery and everything. So they were down for like 3 days or something.
Yeah, I think you said it was 3 days.
They lost like 3 days production to put in all the new gear and everything. But now they're back up and they're
Yeah.
But yeah, still in the family.
Oh yes, that's true.
The last of the brothers, I think, are retiring this year. I think is what he said.
Yeah, one of them is, yeah.
But they have like a cousin who's going to take it over, and so it's literally just still a family-owned business.
Family, yep.
Which is very cool. Very, very cool. And then, of course, we did some sampling,
Sampling.
tasting.
Yep, which is perfect, actually. So you get 4 5-ounce tastes.
Per person.
There we go. Per person. Tickets. You get little tickets to taste, which actually our bartender was very sweet to let us have for our like little scrap box that we're doing. So taste. It's a taste. So yeah. But so it's perfect. You can get a couple each and go sit and check it out, and then go back and get a couple more. And then they actually had a really good deal on crowlers. To buy 3 get 1 free. So we got 4 whatever size
Like
crowlers.
20 some ounce, yeah.
So and there's a really pretty creek, like the which creek was it called? The spring.
Yeah, the Spring, because it was originally Spring Creek Brewery, I think. The water in Chippewa Falls and the falls
Purest
was the
minerals.
what they're known for their water, and so that was the original source of water for brewing for
So
years.
this is our 32-ounce Leinie's Crawler can, and then you could pick straight from the tap, or you could have blends. And this one is a peach lemonade, which is their peach shandy with their lemon shandy, summer shandy.
The summer shandy with the juicy peach.
Juicy peach, yeah. And then they can mix it up. They'll just take it right from the tap in there for you, and then they cap it, and then it's amazing. And so we got 4 of them for $24.
Yeah, can't argue
you
with
gonna
that.
get that for $24 around here.
Yeah.
So we'll be doing tastings on those at some point in time.
Yeah, and we will let y'all know. Because they had. I've had the summer shandy. I know I like the summer shandy. But the juicy peach, which I think is relatively new,
I think it's I believe,
or maybe a couple years old.
A couple years old, I think. Which I just haven't seen it until we hit Wisconsin.
So maybe it's
on our trip.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know how many. If I've seen it around here, I'll have to look now.
Yeah, we'll have to look.
And the berry rice, which I've had before, but you didn't realize.
I did not realize. Okay, so going back, so we saw the juicy peach at one of the gas stations we were at, and I'm like, oh, that sounds good. And they were saying that I think at the state fair, was it at the Wisconsin State Fair, that the juicy peach was outselling the shandy, the summer shandy, and I was like, oh, now I'm really intrigued, and it was good. It was really good. Probably one of the better fruit flavored beers I've had, because a lot of them the taste is
the fruit gets lost.
The fruit gets lost, but again, these guys add any additives of fruit or flavored spices very like last minute, essentially.
Like right
after the fermentation, after the aging, like right before production.
To keep it fresh.
Yeah, it was a nice juicy. It tasted like a juicy peach. And I'm like, oh, this is awesome. Until I had the berry vice, which again I hadn't had. I'd slept on for some reason. And if you don't like beer, but you like Kool-Aid, get the berry vice. It doesn't taste like beer, like at all. There's no aftertaste. There's none of that weird like hoppy thing. There's no. It literally just tastes like Kool-Aid or like a wine cooler or something.
It's delicious.
It's really good. It is really good.
Yep. It's in the past years I've had it. I thought it was a little sweet and a little frou-frou for me, but I must be getting old. I'm getting older now, and I agree. It is totally delicious. Yes, it's the hidden boozy Kool-Aid.
Yes, for sure.
It really is good. Better than Kool-Aid though. It is very fresh and just delicious, and so it's just the new Ryan beer.
Yeah, might be.
Nice people working there too at the.
Oh, awesome! Our bartender Shane, I think his name was.
I can't remember.
He was really cool. He was really
nice.
cool.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And they have a lot of merch. Like
Oh,
at
they have
their
a
gift
ton of
store.
merch.
We actually we were only in there like maybe a few minutes, and they unfortunately were closing at 6.
Yeah, 'cause it's
and-
Sunday,
Yeah, it is
so.
Sunday, yes. So we didn't get to really do a whole lot of looking
Yeah,
at the
but,
gift shop,
but apparel, they have a ton of apparel,
everything, almost everything.
a ton of glassware, like a ton of glassware.
Chair, fold up Adirondack chairs.
Adirondack chairs and tables and
Tables, everything.
yeah, you name it, they pretty much had it.
Yeah, soap. They had soap. They had berry
They did have
rice and
soap.
lemon shandy soap and like
Yeah.
all their basic brews. They had
Mm-hmm.
in kind of like
Dr. Squatch.
Dr. Squatch. I always call it the wrong name. Dr.
Mm-hmm.
Squatch soap not that brand, but that version, homemade soap.
Yeah, the homemade hand pressed
Yeah,
cup
there we
soap.
go. Yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of impressed by their merch selection.
Yeah, they had a lot of merch.
Yeah, so
I'll have to go back.
I mean, for
They had
sure.
dog squeaky toys.
They
They look
did-
like a Leinie's beer can.
Yeah,
Like,
they had
Bandanas for your dog. I think they had a dog house.
Yeah, they had a whole like
A
dog
prefab
section.
dog house.
Yeah.
Leinie Lodge dog house. Like it was. They mean business.
They mean those. Yeah, I mean definitely for sure. When you go back to Rockfest next year, we'll stop, and maybe in between then, who knows?
Yeah,
Maybe we
we'll
might
see
just
what-
take a trip out there.
We'll see where our adventures take us.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot to mention because I'm insane.
Oh yeah.
I had to get
Marieke.
the Marieke Gouda shot glass
glass.
as well,
So, yep. To wash your cheese down with.
or to put liquid cheese in.
Yeah. True.
Want a shot of Gouda?
Oh
I'm
yeah.
good.
Cheese. Give me cheese.
All the
Dunk your
cheese.
beef sticks in there. Yeah.
All the cheese. Speaking of cheese.
We ate all the cheese.
At Rockfest itself. So we had the corn because we didn't eat all that much there.
Not really, because you're so busy drinking liquids.
So busy drinking
People
liquids
dying
and
running from
walking
stage
around
to
to all the
stage.
stages, and they
Yeah.
have a ton of food vendors there too.
Yeah, they have a lot of interesting ones.
We had the corn dogs, which were for corn dogs were
Delicious.
quite amazing.
Yeah, they have the crunchy cornmeal in them.
We had the cheese curds,
Cheese curds.
which glistened. The grease glistened in the sun. Those were really good. They have really good ranch dip with it.
Yeah.
We had one more thing. What else did we have? The loaded mac and
brisket.
cheese.
Yeah. They brisket mac and cheese.
The brisket mac and cheese, half mac and cheese, half mashed potatoes,
yeah, with brisket on
with
it.
brisket on top. That was pretty good.
It could have been better.
That was kind of.
It was all right.
That
It
was
was
probably like the disappointment
a
of the.
good idea, but that could have been executed better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I mean, it was food. We didn't die, and
Yeah, it was.
it was all right. So
Yeah, carbs to get through.
I wanted to try the maple bacon mini donuts.
Yeah, there was a ton of
Those
stuff that we
looked
didn't
delicious.
hit up. They had the donut shop with the maple
the
bacon,
pizza, the wood fire pizza,
the wood fire
oven,
pizza,
the sub shop.
the sub shop, the peanut butter jelly chocolate
Oh.
funnel cakes.
Yeah, peanut butter chocolate funnel cakes. That
Mm-hmm.
looked really good. Deep fried cookie dough.
Mm-hmm.
And then they had like these I don't know, crunchy cookie tube things in ice cream.
Oh, the cone with the ice cream.
rolly
Yeah,
thing,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a
Square cheese curds, which apparently are supposed to be extra better.
better than
Yeah.
more edges for crispiness, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite a good amount of food and a good variety of food.
The fry bread stand.
Mm-hmm.
You could get fry bread in almost every direction. Yeah.
The coffee.
Coffee. I didn't do that one, but that's all right. But yeah, lots of good stuff.
Yeah.
To try mini fair, I guess. But
yeah, it's like all the good stuff of a state fair, minus the
weird
cows and agricultural stuff, pretty much condensed into
in the rides.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good.
But yeah, no, it was a lot of fun, and if you have the means and you have the time, I would definitely recommend it, at least once in your life.
Yeah. Yep. And some form of cheese and probably beer too. And if you're in Wisconsin, stop and check it out. And we always say support local bands. It's also
support
good to
local, support regional,
everything.
support
these small
businesses and
mom and pops and whatever. It's not easy, and like in the little Cafe Duchess that they were they were busting their butts in there, getting stuff out, and and it was all awesome.
Okay, I think that finally wraps it up.
Now we need a nap.
So we're going to take a nap, and we'll talk to you next time.
Yeah.